What's up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free Major League Baseball home run prop show for Friday, August 25th, 2023. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, make sure you head on over to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get into the home run prop action for Friday. A decent day with the home run props yesterday. Had a nice couple plays come through for us. We had guys like Zach Geloff come through. Luis Robert came through for us as well. I'm just trying to think of guys off the top of my head. But again, had a decent day with the home run props. Sorry, this video is getting out a little bit later than I anticipated. Normally we try for 1 p.m. Eastern. Thankfully, we have a Friday slate, all prime time action starting at 6:40 p.m. Eastern and later. Just had a lot going on behind the scenes today. A lot of frustration, a lot of profanity being screamed at my computer. But you know what? That's fine. No excuses, just free picks. We show up for you every single day. And I think that's only once that I've not had a home run video. And it was because we had an error on the back end. But again, we always show up. And I'm always going to show up and give you guys these home run props. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody, obviously, these home run props are very high risk, high reward. They're not plays that I recommend anybody dump their whole bankroll into. They are just plays that are there for some side action, have some fun with, for some pizza money or some coffee money on. Again, nothing to go too crazy over. I do give out a fair number of home run props on this home run prop show. So anything that you take from here, I recommend just playing as a straight single bet. But I do know that some people like to parlay these home run props. So if that is something that you like to do, and if it's within your means and something that your book offers, I would look into doing a round robin on any parlay that's 3 legs or more. What it's going to do is that's going to give you a safety net, because how many times have we all had that 3 or 4 leg parlay that we were one game off from or one leg off from, and because we didn't have a round robin, we didn't have that safety net, we didn't get paid. But if you do a 3 leg parlay and you round robin that 3 leg parlay, you're going to play the 3 leg parlay for, let's say, $5, and you play $5 on each combination of 2 legs for 3 more parlays, so $20 in total would be your bet. But if you hit 2 out of 3 on your parlay, you still win something. And if you hit all 3 legs of the parlay, not only do you get paid on the 3-legger, but you get paid on each 2-leg parlay as well, maximizing your return. So definitely something that I think is worth looking into if that's the way you like to bet your home run props. But before we get into it, I want to let everybody know I love interacting with you guys. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you like the angle I took on some of these games? Do you not like the angle? Do you have player props of your own? Again, let me know in the comments. But if you're going to drop your plays in the comments below, and I really appreciate when you guys do, because some of those have been absolute fire. I put a couple of bucks on them and cash with you guys. I ask if you're going to do that, drop them in there before the games start. If they're not in there before the games start, they don't help anybody. And we're trying to beat the books as a team here at Pickdawgz. One team, one goal, and that goal every single day is to get us paid, whether it's spreads, money lines, totals, player props. The goal remains the same, and that is to get us paid. And let's take that into Friday's action. We'll start things off. I really wanted to have some plays for this game between the Astros and the Tigers. 2 starters that have had issues with home runs lately. Framber Valdez, he's allowed 5 home runs since his no-hitter 4 starts ago. 9 home runs in his last 7 starts, while Matt Manning, he's given up 7 homers in his last 5 starts. And the Astros, well, none of them have really been dominant against right-handed pitching lately. No Tigers have a ton of sample size against lefties in the last 10 days. I was leaning towards Yainer Diaz and Alex Bregman for Houston, Spencer Torkelson and Andy Ibanez for Detroit. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Start with plays that I do have official prices on and plays on. I'm going to go with Lane Thomas here at plus 600. He's my most trusted Nationals bat against lefties now, with Stone Garrett injured and potentially probably out for the season. It leaves few options for Washington. But in his lone career at bat against Braxton Garrett, his lone career hit against Braxton Garrett for Lane Thomas was a home run. Garrett has been less effective at home this season, which is odd for a Miami Marlins pitcher, but it is what it is. It's where he's allowed 12 of his 17 home runs this year. So I'm going to go with Lane Thomas at plus 600. I'm also going to go with Jorge Soler on the other side for the Marlins, plus 360. He's got 3 home runs in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Yoan Adon starting for the Nationals here. He's allowed a home run in 2 of his last 3 starts. Got roughed up in his last outing. I think Jorge Soler can get one at plus 360. Now moving on to this game between the Rays and the Yankees, I'm going to go with Jose Siri at plus 600. It's a matchup play for me here, as Garrett Cole has allowed 5 home runs in 3 starts against Tampa Bay this season. Siri has 2 career hits against Cole, both of those hits going for home runs, and Cole has allowed a home run in 5 of his last 7 starts. So I'm going to go with Jose Siri at plus 600. Also going to go with Yandy Diaz, also at plus 600. He's got a 317 average with a homer and 3 extra base hits in his career against Garrett Cole. So I'm going to take Yandy Diaz at plus 600. and Randy Arozarena at plus 650. He's got a 318 average with a home run and a double against righties in the last 10 days. Also has a career homer off of Garrett Cole. So I'm going to go with Randy Arozarena at plus 650. Now let me know if you guys are playing any Yankees in that game. Obviously, Aaron Judge could still be in play, and Zach Eflin, he has been really good at home, but he also has allowed 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. Also gave up 2 home runs in a start against the Yankees earlier this season. But it's worth noting that both of those starts for Eflin against the Yankees came at Yankee Stadium, where on the road, Eflin's been a lot less effective. Not at Tropicana Field, where he's been much better this season. So just worth taking with a grain of salt. But again, yeah, let me know if you guys are playing any Yankees in that game. Now moving on to this matchup between the Orioles and the Rockies. Only one play for me here, and that's going to be Ryan Mountcastle at plus 390. He's got 2 home runs against left-handed pitching with a 417 average in the last 10 days. Kyle Freeland starting for the Rockies today. He's allowed 6 home runs in his last 4 starts, 8 home runs and giving up a homer in 5 of his last 7 starts. So I'm going to take Ryan Mountcastle at plus 390. Moving on to this game between the Phillies and the Cardinals. Going Phillies heavy in this one. I'm going to take first Nick Castellanos at plus 410. He's got 2 homers in his career against Miles Michaelis with a home run, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties. And Michaelis has allowed 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. So I'm going to take Nick Castellanos at plus 410. I'm also going to take Bryce Harper at plus 340. He's got 4 home runs with a 389 average against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. It's going to be Bryce Harper at plus 340. I'm also looking at Kyle Schwarber at plus 210. He's hitting 250 with 4 home runs against righties in the last 10 days. So Kyle Schwarber at plus 210 for me. Also, Trey Turner at plus 390. He's got a 250 average with 3 homers against righties in the last 10 days. It's Trey Turner at plus 390 and Jake Cave at plus 550. He's got a 368 average with 3 homers, 5 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. So I'll take Jake Cave at plus 550. Again, wanted to look at some Cardinals there. But I just really couldn't get on board with anybody against Christopher Sanchez. So let me know if you guys are playing any Cardinals in that game. Moving on to this Pirates and Cubs matchup. I'm going to start things off with Ke'Bryan Hayes at plus 700 here. Ke'Bryan Hayes, career 6 hits against Kyle Hendricks and 15 career at-bats. Hendricks starting for the Cubs here. 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits for Hayes of those 6. And Hendricks has allowed 3 home runs in his last 4 starts overall. So I'm going to take Ke'Bryan Hayes here at plus 700. I'm also going to look at Andrew McCutchen at plus 700. He's got 2 home runs against righties in the last 10 days with a 263 average. So I'll take Andrew McCutchen at plus 700. I'm also going to take Brian Reynolds at plus 600. He's got a home run against right-handed pitching with a 250 average in the last 10 days. So give me Brian Reynolds at plus 600. Now on the other side for the Chicago Cubs, Seiya Suzuki at plus 700. He's hitting 360 with 3 home runs, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Mitch Keller starting for the Pirates. He's allowed a home run in 5 of his last 7 starts, 8 home runs total in that 7-start stretch. So I'm going to take Seiya Suzuki at plus 700. I'm also going to look at Cody Bellinger at plus 600. He's got 2 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. So I'm going to take Cody Bellinger at plus 600. And Ian Happ at plus 650. This is a matchup play for me here, as Happ, a career 7 for 16 against Mitch Keller, 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits. So I'm going to take Ian Happ at plus 650. Now let's look at this matchup between the Blue Jays and the Guardians. I don't envision a ton of home runs in this game, to be honest. I think it's a pretty good pitching match between Tanner Bibby and Chris Bassett. But I will start with Brandon Belt for the Blue Jays at plus 390. He's got 4 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days with a 304 batting average. Tanner Bibby has been decent for the Guardians, but he has allowed a home run in 4 of his last 7 starts, 5 home runs total in that stretch. So I'm going to take Brandon Belt at plus 390. I'm also going to take Dalton Varsho at plus 425. He's got 2 home runs, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching with a 263 average. So I'm going to take Dalton Varsho at plus 425. Now on the other side, for the Cleveland Guardians against Chris Bassett, I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez as a standalone play here. I don't love many Guardians for homers, especially against right-handed pitching normally, but Chris Bassett, he has a glaring split, as 18 of his 23 home runs this season that he's given up have come against left-handed bats. Now Ramirez, a switch hitter that has 7 home runs as a lefty bat against right-handed pitching. It's also worth noting, though, that Chris Bassett, the bulk of his homers have also come on the road. So you take that with a grain of salt, but I think Ramirez is still worth a look here. Now, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any plays in this Dodgers and Red Sox game. I wanted to have some Dodgers here, but it's real hard to feel confident without knowing who's starting here. I've seen Cutter Crawford in some places for the Dodgers, but I've also heard potentially a bullpen game. I don't see any announcement here, so we could see a pitching change. But on the other side, Lance Lynn has pitched really well since joining the Dodgers. He's also allowed a handful of solo home runs, though, since being traded to LA. And Fenway's been very hitter-friendly this season. Maybe leans towards Adam Duvall, Tristan Cassis, Rafael Devers for Boston. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. But moving on to this matchup between the White Sox and the A's. And I'm going to go with first Luis Robert at, let me find him here. There he is. Plus 285. He's going up against Zach Neal starting for the A's here. Neal's allowed 5 home runs in 12 innings this season. Robert Jr. has a pair of home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. Let's give me Luis Robert at plus 285. I'm also going to go with Zach Geloff for the A's here at plus 510. For my money, he's the hottest hitter for the A's against right-handed pitching as of late. He's hitting .320 with 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties. So I'll take Zach Geloff at plus 510. I'm also going to look at Brent Rooker at plus 525. He's got 2 home runs, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching, hitting .292. So give me Brent Rooker at plus 525. I also lean towards Shea Langeliers as well. He's got 3 home runs in the last 10 days against righties. Moving on to this match between the Mets and the Angels. I do like a trio of Mets here, but again, couldn't find prices on them because the Angels haven't confirmed the starter. I thought it was Patrick Sandoval. So these plays are with analysis against lefties. So again, just take these with a grain of salt. If you see a pitching change, adjust accordingly however you want to if this was a game you're interested in. I like Pete Alonso. He's got 2 homers with a .250 average in the last 10 days against left-handed pitching. Again, Sandoval, who I thought was starting here, just hasn't been good as of late. I think Alonso tags him. I also like Brandon Nimmo. He's got a .357 average with 2 homers against against lefties in the last 10 days. And Francisco Lindor, .455 average with a home run last 10 days against lefties as well. But before we get into our last few home run prop games for Fridays, I actually want to remind everybody, obviously the purpose of this home run prop show is to put some cash in your pockets by way of home run prop winners, but it's also to highlight the benefit of using the betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place. The graphics for this home run prop show are taken directly from the betting tools. They're the same tools that you see is what I see. It's nothing special behind the scenes. Like I said, we all have the same betting tools here. And what the betting tools will do is they'll show you player props, they'll show you the prop, they'll show you how often it hits, whether it's a 5-game sample size, 10-game size, or even all games this season. And it'll also show you which sportsbook is giving you the best possible price. Now, the nice thing is, if you don't have an account with the book that's giving you the best price, you click on that price. As a new customer, you'll get a sportsbook bonus offer on us, and you'll get to play that price with that bonus while also adding to your advantage over the books that they can't take from you, which is your ability to shop lines and find the best possible number. There's also other betting tools depending on how you like to bet your bankroll. If you like betting hot and cold streaks, there's a streaks tool. If you like betting parlays, there's multiple parlay builders that'll build a parlay for you based on the sports you like to bet on or the types of plays you like to bet on. There's profitable teams, profitable angles, profitable underdogs. The list goes on and on. Like I said, we all like to bet our, bankrolls differently. We all have different ways that we like to bet and find what we find enjoyable in betting. But the one thing that unites us all is that we like to make money, and these betting tools will do that for you. They'll do the heavy lifting. I promise you, they are worth checking out. So make sure you head on over to Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place and take a look at them. But let's get back into the home run prop action. We've got a few more games to look at here. First one we're going to look at is this matchup between the Brewers and the Padres, and I'm going to go to the Brewers here. I'm going to go with Willy Adames at plus 480. He's got 3 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. Yu Darvish hasn't allowed much, but Adames crushing it right now. And Darvish has been less effective on the road this season. I'm going to take Willy Adames at plus 480. I'm also going to take Carlos Santana at plus 480 as well. He's got 2 home runs in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Has 5 career hits against Yu Darvish. 3 of those hits going for extra bases, including a pair of home runs and a double. So I'm going to take Carlos Santana at plus 480. I'm also going to take Christian Yelich at plus 575. He's got 2 home runs in his career against Darvish. So I'm going to take Christian Yelich at plus 575. Now, on the other side, for the San Diego Padres, I'm going to go with Manny Machado at plus 500. He's got 3 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. Now, Brandon Woodruff has been solid since returning from the injured list, but he has allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. So I'll take a shot here on Manny Machado at plus 500. I'm also going to look at Xander Bogaerts for the Padres at plus 650. He's got 2 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. It's going to be Xander Bogaerts at plus 650. I also lean towards Fernando Tatis Jr. as well in that one. Moving on to the Minnesota Twins and Texas Rangers matchup. I'm going to go with first Corey Seager. Excuse me, not Corey Seager. That's well, spoiler alert, I went with Corey Seager, but I'm going to go with Max Kepler to start things out. Plus 540. He's got a home run, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties with a 333 average. Dane Dunning, he's allowed a home run in 6 of his last 7 starts, 8 home runs total. So I'm going to take Max Kepler at plus 540. I'm also going to take Michael A. Taylor at plus 700. He's got a 353 average with 2 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 10 days. I'm going to take Michael A. Taylor at plus 700. I'm also going to take Royce Lewis at plus 600. He's got a 304 average with 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits in the last 10 days versus righties. It's going to be Royce Lewis at plus 600. Now on the other side, I said it, there we go, Corey Seager at plus 350. He's got a 333 average with 3 homers in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. It's going to be Corey Seager at plus 350. I'm also going to go with Nathaniel Lau at plus 600. He's got a 346 average with a homers, 4 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. It's going to be Nathaniel Lau at plus 600. Also for the Rangers, I lean towards Adolis Garcia, Leody Taveras, and Mitch Garver as well. Now, for the last game, we're going to go to the last game we have official plays on. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 450. He's got 3 home runs, 5 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties with a 290 batting average. Bryce Miller hasn't given up much, but Witt Jr. isn't in fine enough for him to take a shot on here. He also had 2 home runs in the 4-game series against Seattle a week and a half ago, including an inside the park home run. So I'm going to take Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 450. I also like Nelson Velasquez. I couldn't find a price on him, though. He does have 2 home runs with a 250 average in the last 10 days against righties. So take Nelson Velasquez if you can find a price on him if he's in the lineup. For the Seattle Mariners, they're going to go with Cal Raleigh at plus 285. He's got a 292 average with 4 homers, 6 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties. Now, Brady Singer hasn't allowed much by way of home runs himself, but Cal Raleigh crushing right-handed pitching right now. I take a shot on him at plus 285. I'm also going to look at Julio Rodriguez at plus 410. He's got 2 home runs, 5 extra base hits total in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching with a 500 batting average. I'm going to take Julio Rodriguez at plus 410. And I'm also going to take Teoscar Hernandez at plus 390. He's got a 471 average with 2 home runs, 6 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties. It's going to be Teoscar Hernandez at plus 390 to round things out for official plays. I also lean towards Ty France and Josh Rojas as well for the Mariners in that one. Now, lastly, I want to tell you guys, let me know if you guys are playing any Braves or Giants in the last game of the night. It's a great pitching matchup. It's Spencer Strider versus Logan Webb. Strider's been fantastic. Webb's been good at home. I think Wilmer Flores, Tyro Estrada could be in play for San Fran. For Atlanta, the usual suspects, guys like Marcell Ozuna and Eddie Rosario, both hitting 500 or better with 3 home runs in the last 10 days against righties. Maybe Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley too. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. But let's do a recap of the plays that we gave out for Fridays. Actually, again, we had quite a few of them. I really like the card on Friday. Again, for the Tigers-Nationals game, leans towards Yainer Diaz, Alex Bregman for Houston, Spencer Torkelson, and Andy Ibanez for Detroit. But we're starting with Lane Thomas at plus 600. Jorge Soler at plus 360. For the Tampa Bay Rays, Jose Siri at plus 600. Yandy Diaz at plus 600. And Randy Arozarena at plus 650 with leans towards Josh Lowe and Isaac Paredes. Maybe Luke Raley as well. For the Baltimore Orioles, I'm going to go with Ryan Mountcastle at plus 390. For the Phillies, we're going to go with Nick Castellanos at plus 410. Bryce Harper at plus 340. Kyle Schwarber at plus 210. Trey Turner at plus 390. And Jake Cave at plus 550. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, Ke'Bryan Hayes at plus 700. Andrew McCutchen at plus 700. And Brian Reynolds at plus 600. For the Cubs, we're going to go with Seiya Suzuki at plus 700. Cody Bellinger at plus 600. And Ian Happ at plus 650. For the Toronto Blue Jays, Brandon Belt at plus 390. And Dalton Varsho at plus 425. Jose Ramirez for the Cleveland Guardians at plus 525. For the Red Sox and Dodgers, leans towards Adam Duvall, Tristan Cassis, and Rafael Devers for Boston. For the Chicago White Sox, Luis Robert at plus 285. And for the Oakland A's, Zach Geloff at plus 510. Brent Rooker at plus 525, lean towards Shea Langeliers as well. For the Mets, I would look at Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, and Francisco Lindor. Again, try to verify if there is going to be a pitching change. I haven't seen anything yet. But again, just worth looking into if Patrick Sandoval gets to start for the Angels in that one. For the Milwaukee Brewers, going to go with Willy Adames at plus 480. I'm going to go with Carlos Santana at plus 480. And Christian Yelich at plus 575. For the San Diego Padres, Manny Machado at plus 500 and Xander Bogaerts at plus 650 with a lean towards Fernando Tatis Jr. as well. For the Minnesota Twins, Max Kepler at plus 540, Michael A. Taylor at plus 700, and Royce Lewis at plus 600. For the Texas Rangers, Corey Seager at plus 350, Nathaniel Lau at plus 600 with leans towards Adolis Garcia, Leody Taveras, and Mitch Garver. For the Kansas City Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 450. Also Nelson Velasquez, if you can find a price on him as well. For the Seattle Mariners, Cal Raleigh at plus 285. Julio Rodriguez at plus 410. And Teoscar Hernandez at plus 390 with leans towards Ty France and Josh Rojas for the Mariners as well. And for the Braves and Giants, for the Giants, like I said, Wilmer Flores, Tyro Estrada, leans for the Braves towards Marcelo Zuna, Eddie Rosario, and the normal guys, Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley. Again, I think it's before I get into my final send off, my write off here. I want to remind everybody, I give out a ton of these home run props, and I've that's just what the show has become. We developed it over time. But again, I can't stress this enough. You don't have to play every single game every single player prop that I give out here. I'm just giving you guys options because I know some people don't, like to go for value. Some people want to go for maybe the lesser odds, but just want to have maybe a lot more consistent batters. Some guys like the long shots. So I'm trying to give you guys just a little bit of everything here and just pick and choose the ones you like. So I've had people ask me about that. I just wanted to address that. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Up over 138,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Couldn't have done it without you guys' love and support, so thank you so much for that. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Smash that thumbs up. Really helps us out if you like this content, and it lets me know that you guys like this home run prop stuff. We'll keep doing it for you. And if you haven't already, turn on notifications. Today, thankfully we have a lot of primetime action, but on the weekend we're going to have afternoon baseball. We're going to try to get this video out as early as possible, but with the nature of the morning show sometimes running a little bit long, sometimes, and when this video comes out, sometimes it doesn't always leave a whole lot of time between when the video is released and first pitch of the opening game. I want to give you the most up-to-date information. So if you have notifications on, you get notified as soon as the video drops. You get to get the best bets in at the most up-to-date number. And also, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find us at Pickdawgz Premium. But while you're at Pickdawgz, I can't stress this enough. Check out these betting tools. They are there for you to use. They are 100% free. If you find anything remotely close to these betting tools out there, you're not getting them for 100% free like we're giving them to you here at Pickdawgz Sports Chat Place. They will do the heavy lifting for you, and they're going to make you a ton of money. I can promise you that. You just got to go over and check them out. But again, thank you so much for watching. Let's crush the books on Friday and head into the weekend strong.